Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. You know I like to have a good time, dance a little, have some laughs. But today we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart. Relationships. And let's face it, not all relationships are a walk in the park. Today we're going to talk about something that can be a real relationship buzzkill: emotional unavailability. We're going to talk about the 9 key indicators that your partner might be, well, a little emotionally guarded, shall we say. You know, like that friend we all have who can't even decide what to order for lunch, let alone talk about their feelings. So, grab a cup of coffee, maybe a cozy blanket, sit back, and let's get started. You never know, this might just be the relationship advice you've been waiting for. Chapter 1. Recognizing lack of emotional expression. Okay, first up, we're talking about those who just can't seem to share their feelings. You know the type. You try to have a heart-to-heart and it's like talking to a brick wall. They just stare blankly, maybe offer a shrug. It's like trying to get blood from a stone, right? And trust me, I've met a few stones in my day. Now, I'm not saying you need to be spilling your guts 24/7, but a little vulnerability goes a long way. It's like, if your partner never shares their dreams, their fears, their hopes for the future, how are you supposed to really know them? It's like trying to guess what's in a present without peeking. And here's the thing. Emotional expression is essential for a healthy relationship. It's about connecting on a deeper level, understanding each other's inner world. It's like the difference between watching a movie on mute and actually hearing the dialogue. You miss out on all the good stuff. So if your partner is constantly playing emotional hide and seek, it might be a sign they need a little encouragement to open up. Maybe they haven't had the best examples of emotional expression in their past. Or maybe, just maybe, they're afraid of getting hurt. And that's something we can all relate to, right? But remember, communication is key, people. Encourage them to talk, create a safe space for vulnerability, and be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are strong, healthy relationships. Chapter 2. Why they avoid meaningful conversations. Alright, next up, we're diving into the world of conversation. Or should I say, the lack thereof. Have you ever tried to have a deep, meaningful conversation with your partner, only to have them dodge it like a ninja warrior? Suddenly, they're really interested in folding the laundry or watching paint dry. You try to bring up something important, something you're feeling, and they just change the subject faster than you can say emotional intimacy. It's like trying to have a serious conversation with a squirrel. They're cute and all, but they just want to bury nuts and run away. Now, I get it. Not everyone is a natural-born conversationalist. Some people are just more comfortable talking about the weather or the latest celebrity gossip. But here's the thing. Avoiding deep conversations can be a major red flag in a relationship. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. Eventually, it's going to crumble. Relationships thrive on communication, on sharing your thoughts, your dreams, your fears. It's about being vulnerable, letting your partner see the real you, even the messy parts. So, if your partner is constantly swerving those deep conversations, it might be time for a little heart-to-heart. Maybe they're afraid of conflict, or maybe they just don't know how to express themselves. Whatever the reason, it's important to address it head-on. Encourage them to open up, to share their thoughts and feelings. Let them know that you're there to listen without judgment. Chapter 3. Is your partner a texting pigeon? Decoding inconsistent communication. Okay, let's talk about communication in the digital age, because honestly, it's a jungle out there. And by jungle, I mean a confusing maze of unanswered texts, missed calls, and sporadic emojis that leave you wondering, what in the world is going on? We've all been there, right? You send a text, you wait, and you wait some more. The minutes turn into hours, the hours into days, and still, crickets. It's like they've fallen off the face of the earth, and you're left staring at your phone like it's personally offended you. Now, I understand that everyone has different communication styles. Some people are glued to their phones, while others take a more, shall we say, relaxed approach. But here's the deal. Consistent communication is crucial in any relationship. It's about feeling connected, knowing that the other person is there for you, even if it's just through a quick text. And let's be real, inconsistent communication can be a real mood killer. It can leave you feeling anxious, insecure, and like you're always playing a guessing game. It's like trying to have a catch with someone who only throws the ball back half the time. Frustrating, right? So, if your partner is more sporadic than a summer thunderstorm when it comes to communication, it's time to have a chat. Maybe they're just super busy, or maybe they haven't quite grasped the concept of a timely response. But it's important to set clear expectations and boundaries. Let them know that consistent communication is important to you and that you're not asking for the world, just a little more consistency. Chapter 4. Commitment Phobes and Fence Sitters. Navigating reluctance to commit. All right, let's talk about commitment. Or should I say, the fear of it. You know those people who break out in a cold sweat at the mere mention of the future? The ones who can't even commit to dinner plans next week, let alone a lifetime of love and laughter? We're talking about the commitment phobes, the fence sitters, the ones who are perpetually keeping their options open. It's like trying to nail jelly to a tree, slippery, frustrating, and ultimately impossible. Now, I understand that commitment can be scary. It's about taking a leap of faith, trusting someone with your heart, and accepting the possibility of getting hurt. But here's the thing. Commitment is also incredibly rewarding. It's about building a life together, sharing dreams, supporting each other through thick and thin. So if your partner is constantly dodging the commitment conversation, it's time to have a serious talk. Maybe they've been hurt before, or maybe they just need a little reassurance. But it's important to be upfront about your needs and expectations. Let them know that you're looking for someone who's in it for the long haul, someone who's ready to build a future together. Chapter 5. Emotional Porcupines. Recognizing and dealing with defensiveness. Okay, let's talk about defensiveness, because we've all encountered those people who are quicker to build a wall than a bridge. You know the type? You try to have a conversation and suddenly you're walking on eggshells. It's like they're wearing a suit of emotional armor, ready to deflect any perceived criticism or attack. And let's be real, being around someone who's constantly defensive can be exhausting. It's like trying to have a conversation with a porcupine. Prickly, uncomfortable, and you're likely to end up with a few emotional quills. Now I get it. No one likes to be criticized. But there's a difference between constructive feedback and a personal attack. And if your partner is constantly interpreting everything as a criticism, it might be a sign of deeper insecurity or fear. So how do you deal with a defensive partner? Well, first and foremost, patience is key. Remember, you can't force someone to change overnight. Start by creating a safe space for open and honest communication. Let them know that you're not trying to attack them, but rather, you care about them and want to understand their perspective. Chapter 6. Lost in Translation. Understanding Lack of Empathy. Alright, let's talk about empathy, because let's face it, it's the emotional glue that holds relationships together. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes, understanding their feelings, and responding with compassion and kindness. But what happens when your partner seems to be missing that empathy chip? You know, when you share something that's really bothering you, and they just stare blankly, offering a solution instead of a shoulder to cry on. It's like trying to explain the color blue to someone who's colorblind. Frustrating, right? Now, I understand that not everyone is a natural empath. Some people are just wired differently. But here's the thing. Empathy is a skill that can be learned and developed, and it's crucial for building healthy, fulfilling relationships. So, if your partner struggles with empathy, it's important to have an open and honest conversation. Explain to them how their lack of empathy makes you feel. Help them understand the importance of putting themselves in your shoes. Chapter 7. Why they prioritize other things over your relationship. Okay, let's talk about priorities, because let's be real, actions speak louder than words. And when it comes to relationships, it's pretty clear where someone's priorities lie based on how they spend their time and energy. It's like that old saying goes, you make time for what's important to you. Now, I understand that everyone has different passions and commitments outside of their relationship. Work, hobbies, friends, these are all important parts of a balanced life. But here's the thing. Relationships require time and attention to thrive. It's like a garden, you can't expect it to flourish if you never water it or give it any sunlight. So, if your partner is constantly choosing work, hobbies, or even just Netflix over spending quality time with you, it's time for a reality check. Maybe they're just super career-driven, or maybe they haven't quite grasped the concept of a healthy work-life balance. But it's important to have an open and honest conversation about your needs and expectations. Let them know that you feel neglected, and that you need them to make more of an effort to prioritize your relationship. Chapter 8. Understanding and Addressing Emotional Withdrawal. Alright, let's talk about emotional withdrawal. Because we've all encountered those people who retreat into their emotional shells at the first sign of conflict or stress. You know the type? You try to have a conversation, and suddenly you're talking to a brick wall. They shut down, withdraw, and leave you feeling like you're talking to a ghost. It's like trying to hug a cactus, prickly, painful, and you're likely to end up with a few emotional wounds. Now, I understand that everyone copes with conflict and stress differently. Some people need time to process their emotions, while others prefer to talk things out right away. But here's the thing. Emotional withdrawal can be incredibly damaging to a relationship. It creates distance, fosters resentment, and prevents couples from resolving conflict constructively. So, if your partner is prone to emotional withdrawal, it's important to address it head-on. Let them know that you understand their need for space, but that you also need them to communicate with you. Encourage them to talk about their feelings, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Chapter 9. Navigating Unresolved Past Issues. Okay, let's talk about baggage. Because let's be real, we all have it. We all come into relationships with our own unique histories, experiences, and yes, even baggage. It's like that old suitcase you can't seem to part with. It's full of memories, both good and bad, and sometimes it weighs you down. Now, I understand that no one wants to drag their past into their present relationship. But here's the thing. Unresolved past issues have a funny way of resurfacing, often when we least expect it. It's like that old saying goes, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So if your partner is carrying around unresolved baggage from past relationships, it's important to approach it with compassion and understanding. Encourage them to talk about their experiences, to process their emotions, and to seek professional help if needed. Remember, you can't force someone to deal with their baggage, but you can create a safe and supportive space for them to do so. Thanks for watching! If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We've got lots more relationship advice, tips, and fun stuff coming your way. Leave a comment below if you've experienced any of these indicators in your relationship and how you dealt with it. We love hearing your stories, and you never know. Your experience might just help someone else who's going through something similar. Until next time, take care and stay emotionally connected. Remember, relationships should bring you joy, not stress. So go out there, communicate your needs, and find a partner who's ready to meet you halfway. And most importantly, don't settle for anything less than you deserve.